Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. In this video, we'll be talking about data structures and algorithms. So in the previous videos, we talked about Java, JavaScript, HTML, Python, SQL, etc. So if you haven't checked it out, I recommend checking out those episodes. But in this episode, or in this video specifically, we'll be starting a new concept known as data structures and algorithms, or DSA for short. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So first of all, what are data structures? We'll talk about algorithms later. First, let's discuss about data structures. So what are data structures? Well, data structures is basically a storage that you use to store data. And the reason data structures are used to store data is because data can be stored efficiently without taking too much time. And not only is data structures used for storing data, it is also used for processing data and retrieving the data quickly and efficiently. So that is why we use data structures. It is basically a storage. So for giving an example that's not computer related so that you can understand it better, imagine you're cooking some food, right? The ingredients that you use are basically the data structure. The reason why I use this example, you'll understand why in the coming time. But yeah, this is basically data structure, and there are two types of data structures. We have primitive and abstract. In terms of complexity, it is divided into two types. In terms of normally, it's divided into other two types. We'll come back to it. Just wrote this one wrong here. Sorry for that. Abstract. Right. So in terms of complexity, data structures are divided into primitive and abstract. So primitive, as the name suggests, is basically simple. It is used to store simple integers or simple variables or data types like integers, point numbers, etc. Whereas abstract deals with much more complex numbers or complex variables or data types such as graphs, etc. Right? So we'll talk about this in the next episode. But for now, we'll just touch upon what data structure is and what basically an algorithm is. And speaking of dividing data structures in terms of complexity, you can also divide data structures in a lot of other stuff. Let me take my razor my duster. This is not enough space, so we'll just write data structure here. So you have linear, non-linear, and linear is divided into four more stuff. There's not enough place here. So yeah, it is divided into linear and non-linear, and in linear you have static, and which leads to array. You have linked, dynamic. Dynamic is divided into linked lists. It is divided into linked lists, stack, queue, and non-linear is divided into tree and graph. So this is how a data structure is divided. We'll talk about what each of these types of data structures mean in the next episode, but this is basically how data structure is divided. It is divided into two parts, linear and non-linear, and linear is divided again into two parts, static and dynamic, with static, an example for static being array, and examples of different types of dynamic data structures being queue, stack, and linked lists. And in non-linear, it is divided into two types of data structures. We have tree and graph. So again, like I said, we'll talk about this in the next episode, because this episode is all about introduction to data structures and algorithms. And speaking of algorithms, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a step-to-step guide on how to do a process. And yeah, that is basically an algorithm. You have or might have heard about algorithms here and there, but that is the true definition. It is the process of doing anything step by step to achieve like a certain goal or a specific mission. Algorithms are used because it performs a task systematically. Let me just tell you this. So, algorithms are basically used for that. And remember how we used the cooking example? Well, if data structures are the ingredients to make a food item, then in that case, algorithms is basically the recipe or the to-do list on which the food is prepared on. So that is basically about algorithms, right? So what is DSA then? DSA is basically data structures algorithms, and it's basically a combination of data structures and algorithms. So here's the thing, right? Without data structures, algorithms are mostly useless. But with the help of algorithms, data structures can be really helpful. Because without algorithms, data structures cannot properly do its task of storing data properly. And even if it did, we won't be using it to the full potential that data structures can be used for. But by using algorithms, we can make sure that storage is being stored effectively, properly, without wasting much storage, without wasting much time of the user who can be working on other stuff, and most importantly also help in storage of the computer as well. So that is why by understanding what type of algorithms to use to solve the data structures, and what type of algorithms to use and what type of data structures to use, by figuring out that language and understanding the process behind it, it'll be a lot more easier and it'll be very, very helpful for you to manage your storage. And DSA is used in a lot of stuff like software applications, software programs, etc. But like I said, this is just an introduction to data structures and algorithms. We basically talked about what is a data structure, what is an algorithm, what are the different types of data structures, and what is the help of data structures and algorithm combined. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos. And that's all folks, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.